Black-owned business profiles. This week on the Bob Profiles, Andrea Felicia and George Burnett talk about their 20-year journey building a family-owned business, House Pest Control.
20 years ago, it wasn't very popular, to be in business for yourself. So we started out as most solopreneurs do. It was just one man. It was just me and my husband. And he had come from a previous company in the pest control industry, so that's what he knew. So that's how we started. And for 15 years, it seems like that's how we were. We were solopreneurs.
Well, I had been let go by my previous corporation. I used to be with the corporate world, and they sent a representative into the office, called all 60 managers in, and they informed us that we had 30 days to clear out our desk. The guy turned around and dropped the mic, and therefore I'm sitting there with the other 59 managers wondering, what am I going to do? So I went home and broke the news to Felicia. Now I got this big old house. We had just bought a home in Stockbridge, bought brand new cars, and I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. I don't have any work. What am I going to do? Well, I'm sitting in my chair. I had a little pity party. And as I turned around and looked at my wall, my certification wall, it said, the state of Georgia, the Structural Pest Control Commission determined that Georgia is qualified to disperse pesticide in the state of Georgia. I can start my own business. Powerhouse was born in my mind at that time, and then I started drawing this logo right here. And that's how Powerhouse was born.
Hey, we were just trying to see what would work and how we could grow. And so we were just, how that scenario, how you have the spaghetti, you throw it up against the wall, see what sticks. That's what we were doing. And so we decided to just venture out and to see what else we could do to expand ourselves and to grow.
Well, the fun thing about that is when you're doing the job, you can't manage as well as you would like, because every athlete has a coach. Okay, when you plan the game, you can't coach. You are playing the game. So I'm servicing, drumming up leads, I'm beating bushes, talking to all the customers, doing all the work, and it makes it kind of difficult for you to pull back and manage day-to-day operations. And so that's what the beauty of having my wife come in later on down the line to help us with that part of the business. But it's just a challenge, working out of your truck, talking to people, doing the actual work. It's just difficult to manage day-to-day operations. I love my wife. And for 33 years, she's convinced me that she actually loves me. She kept me, by the way, during our hard time, when things were low, when funds were, we don't know where they were coming from. She never said a word. She never said anything like, "You bum." I knew Mama was, I know I should have gone down this road with you. No, she always said things like, "It's going to be okay. This could be our testimony." She always was a source of encouragement. So I'm excited to say that now that we are on the other side of that, I love working with her. There are days when I want to lock her in the room and just watch TV, but she's really, really smart. In fact, I was calling her the other day, let her know how smart she is. We would not be where we are without her. When we got into the government agency, I made her president and CEO of the company. I gave her 51% of the company. It's actually the owner of the company. She's my boss, which means she can fire me. And every time I mess up, and she wants to, and all I do is go talk to the husband on behalf of the vice president and ask him to tell her to give the vice president another chance, and so I'm always good. The biggest challenge is, after we started, we were excited. I got my truck. I got all my equipment. We let the whole world know, dun, 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 Powerhouse is open for business. Trade towers get run into by airplanes. People stop buying. We found that interesting because we couldn't really get any traction, and we lost everything. We lost our home, we lost transportation. I lost everything but my children and my wife. Like anyone, you got a family, you got to feed them. They want to eat every day. It's amazing how they want to keep doing that. So you have to get a job. I was able to get a job with another pest control company, which was fortuitous because it taught me how to do government pest control services. I learned how to work in the government agency as a result of that, which is integrated pest management or green pest control. I was pretty much doing conventional pest control. So that's how we kind of like made ends meet until, but I didn't close my doors. I kept, working the bushes, beating the bushes, talking to people. Yeah, we kept marketing ourselves. In my opinion, everything we do is marketing. Uniform, the truck. So we kept doing that, talking to people, introducing ourselves, and one customer at a time, giving quality service, excellent service. That's what we hang our hat on, is excellent service. We want to give value for people's hard-earned money. And with that job and me doing one customer at a time and word of mouth, growing organically was huge for us, because one satisfied customer will tell another satisfied customer. And then we kind of, after 13 years, we decided to go into the government agency. Now that I learned how to do it, we were able to, like my wife said earlier, throwing stuff up against the wall, making various bids across the city and seeing what will stick. And Marta did stick, and we're like, now it's like the dog who finally catches the car he's been chasing. Now that we got it, what are we going to do with this? So that helped us to develop, you can call it a cash cow. We got a consistent cash coming in, and that gave us an ability to leave that job. Now we can focus strictly on our business. And when we were able to do that, we were able to get more clientele.
When we moved into the government space, that's when we started to hire. We needed some more help in order for us to meet the capacity that was demanded on us at that time. Georgia Tech, they offer some free classes. So those were the first ones that we were introduced to. And then somehow I got involved with Government Contractors Association. And they help you to, manage that government space, because it's a whole different beast. Mm-hmm. You have to learn the language. They call it governese, and then you have to get all these certifications. So we went through all of that process of getting the certifications with the local entities and with the state entities and with the national entity as well. Woman-owned small business. We have DeKalb County certifications. We have Clayton County certifications, Fulton County, City of Atlanta. All of those, and that's it's a lot of vigor to go through that process, mm-hmm. filling out all that document and things like that. So that was a growing process as well when we moved into that space. But we just wanted to experience it. And our first government project was with MARTA, and we served MARTA for 5 years. So and that's the longest that anyone has ever served in a particular with MARTA. A company had stayed that long with them, serving them, and they loved us. But with the government space, one thing that we want to make note of is it's like a race to the bottom, because they always go on lowest bid, okay. Especially in the pest control industry. Okay. So it's like you have to be very careful which ones you bid on and which ones you accept, and don't be afraid to walk away. Well, in the beginning, we were just bidding on it, just to see if we can get it. And then on the back end, we were able to make up the difference of how the low initial fee that we had put in for the bid with MARTA. That's what I'm talking about. We were able to make up on the back because we had special projects and special other activities that they had us do for them. So it kind of, cushioned it for us. But after that, we would bid what we wanted. We would bid what we wanted to bid. Okay. We would go in high. And then if we got it, it was great. But if not, it wasn't for us. That has always been our motto. If it's for us, then it's for us. But if it's not, because you cannot play that game of bidding low, because you pace yourself out. Well, fortunately, we've been blessed once again with it's a merchant company that's called Now Account, and they process your invoices as if it was a credit card, and they pay you, and within 2 or 3 days, and then they work it out so that when the invoices when the government actually pays, it goes through them. So they give you your money up front so that you can grow fearlessly. That's the way they put it. And then so that has been a savior. So if anyone is looking to go into the government space and they want to get paid now, it's called nowaccount.com. Tell them that Andrea Felicia from House Pest Control sent you. Because they want to let small businesses especially know if you have that commercial, the corporate, and the government space, it's a great service. I love my people in the residential. I love my residential customers. But see, they're different, and how we service them is different in that with the government space, you're talking about, okay, let's look at DeKalb County. Okay, and you have over 175 different buildings, and they're filled with people. So you have to deal with all of those personalities. That's a major difference compared to residential. You just have the family, so you have to try to cater to all of those people, have to respond to all of those people, and you have to teach them how we're going to serve and what's the best way to serve. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the major differences. I think basically we use the same products. With the government, it's called integrated pest management. So it's more of like treat as needed, keeping pests at bay, okay? So that kind of thing. Okay, it's called integrated pest management. But with the residential, we treat it in such a way that the pests can't live in that environment. Okay, that's one thing about Powerhouse. We exceed the industry standards, pest control standards, and we provide that excellent service for our residential customers with our superior termite service and with our deluxe Powerhouse pest control service. For the past 20 years, it's been organic growth for us. Organic, word of mouth, Google reviews, things like that. So we're really just starting to actually put our footprint into the social media per se, like the Facebook and the Instagrams and LinkedIn. Now we have our field supervisor, who is Christopher Clay. He's been with us for like 3 years. We have my son, he's our marketing manager, and he's the one that's been with us for 5 years. He was the one that came in when we got the MARTA contract. Yeah, he was the one that was helping us with that. And then we have Des Capers. He is our lead technician and our service professional. And we just acquired a new team member in the person of Darnell Jackson. So, but it's a longer process. Like to get them in, it's like it takes several months to find people, and we find the right people. Because we have gone through some challenges. We've hired some few people that we thought were right, but got him in for 2 days, and he showed his true colors. So we had to let him go. We hire slow and fire quickly. We pay for training. Okay. So that's another thing that's very attractive. We pay for the training. So this new technician that we just hired, Darnell Jackson, has no experience, has a very interesting background. He came from corrections. He was a correction officer. My son was asking me, Mom, what made you pick his resume? I'm like, I'm not sure. I just give all credit to God because he has been great. He loves us. He's excited about working in this industry because he wanted something different. So he was looking for something different, and corrections is totally different from pest control. So I think it's going to be a good fit.
They know I'm insane. I laugh, I joke, we're not playing here. This is the business. This is a for-profit business. But fortunately, my children, they were homeschooled. They've always been self-starters. I gave them the decision. They can go work anywhere they want to. And if should they decide to come work with us, they won't be working for us because we made them partners. So they have stock in the company. They are owners of the company as well. So it's not as if they're working for me, they're working with me. And so what this does is give them options. They can always go do what they want to do, but Powerhouse is here for them. If they decide that that's not working out for them, they can always come home and get back into the family business and do their thing from that perspective. You set your business parameters. If your hours are 6 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, that'd be the business. And from that 3:30 until the rest of the day, then it's family time. Wherever you are, be there. When you're at work, work. When you're at play, then you play. Don't play at work and don't work at play. So just keep it in their own lane. Keep it in the lane separate, and you should do fine. My children are very disciplined, and they know that they have to produce. We are in a performance-based business. You must perform. You must bring value. You're not bringing value, no raise for you. And they understand that, so they do well.
It's a family-owned business. We love it. This is all we know. We live, eat, and breathe pest control, but and it's like I said, our blood. But my situation and how I look at the work balance and what have you, I don't call it balance. I call it integration.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes it'd be more demanding on this side, and sometimes it'd be more demanding on that side. So you just have to just find the groove of what works best. You know, when the pandemic came and people came home and they started working from home, and everybody was like frantic and, you know, like, how spending too much time together. I'm like, it was like, what's the matter? This is how we live. This is how we've always lived. We work together. We play together. We worship together. You know, everything.
Go for it. Don't sit around and keep thinking about it. You can think about it until the cows come home and you'll still be where you are today, nowhere. You'll still be working with someone else, wishing that you could call the shots, which you'll never be able to do until you step out there and have the courage and the confidence in yourself. Have a plan. Find an area, a niche. Don't try to do everything. Find your area, a niche, whatever it is, and become experts at it. Become very good at it before you break off into something else, and then stick with it. It's a roller coaster. That's going to be those times when you're going down and you say, why am I doing this? And then you're going to be going up and you say, yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this. It's going to be days that are challenging, and there's going to be rewards because you made the right decision.
Have defined roles for the business, and then stay in your role. I think that's the main thing. Because when you're trying to cross over the roles, that's even in marriage though.
Okay.
When you have a role, and you support your role and you encourage each other in your roles, but you don't try to take over, you know, and go and dip over in the other person's lane. You have to have a lot of guts, a lot of grit, a lot of stick-to-itiveness, because it's hard. It's very hard. It's not easy. We make it look easy because we're professionals. But when you're considering it, talk to a lot of people. Talk to other people who are in business. Get as much information as you can. Have a desire to grow, to develop and mature always. Find yourself mentors, okay? Find yourself, read books. If you can't afford to purchase a mentor, then you can purchase books. Read a lot of books. Open yourself up to communities, other entrepreneurs like Atlanta Black Chambers, different types of organizations that have groups where you can collaborate, and be encouraged, because it gets hard out here sometimes. So you need that. You need that support, and you need a different mindset. Okay, the mindset of having your own, because but going back to when we started, all we knew was pest. We knew how to do pest control, but we did not know how to run a business. Okay. So that is a process of learning. It doesn't have to take you long to learn, but it is a process. You have to go through the process. You can go quickly, okay, but it is a process. You can't miss any steps.